Hello everyone and thanks for tuning in this evening. We are carrying on with our Let's Build an Online Store. We are on episode 8, so we are a good way through. We've gone through lots of different things of building up our customer model, how they're going to store their addresses, how they're going to save their information so they can log in later on, so they can select which address they want something to get posted to, or they can select their default billing address and all that sort of stuff. And onto our shopping cart and with our products. Hi wife. So yeah, that's where we are. We are on the other point where we're turning our cart into an order. As this is an API based e-commerce online store thing that we're building, it's a lot of the interaction in terms of building up seconds earlier. So what we're doing is the application that will interact with this API, that will be in charge of deciding about are they logged in, are they not logged in, and how we want to enforce certain routes into creating an order, whereas our API is a little bit less caring, as it were. But when we create an order, we got to do some juggling around, I think. Hey Alex, hey Mark, hey Samuel. Right, so this evening, didn't really plan it. We're just going to go with the flow a little bit here. We are going to be working on finishing off the order what we started last time on Tuesday. Hey Nate. We are going to be doing a very quick one this evening. Just probably about an hour or so. We've ordered some food. I'm going to spend a little bit of time with the wife because I've not really seen her. So yeah, without further ado, let's start looking at it. But before I start, I was speaking to James Brooks today and he showed me this really cool way to manage tasks. And the idea is you're pulling tasks this way across. So you say, okay, so that one's done, that one's done. So instead of pushing it that way, so you feel like there's this mountain of work that you've got to get done, you're looking at that lighter end where it's like, look how much I've achieved, and it's just really cool. Wanted to share it. It's really cool. He tweeted about it. I retweeted it earlier. I just find it a really cool way to do things. There are tunes. There's tunes in the background anyway. Today we are listening to Nordic and Viking music, apparently. I kind of clicked a random one. If people want something different, I take requests, as I'm not trying to monetize. So, what we're going to do... Hey! What we're going to do is just carry on where we picked off last time. So, if we jump down into our source, down here, into our actions, we were creating an order. It's starting to get a little bit... this is how we want to do it. We're getting to the point where we want to look at how we're going to do this, right? So we get the cart with the items, where the UUID is the cart object cart being passed through. Bard core. Let me find that. I did used to have that in my recently played. Let's get some Bard core. Here we go. Some good old Bardcore. So what we do is we get our cart from whatever's been passed in through our order value object, which will be here. And then what we do is we will be creating that order, adding in the order items, and then adding any payment information. So we're not going to concentrate on payment because that's a whole stream on its own. You know, I want to do a short stream on planning how to integrate with a payment provider, and then I'm going to do a bigger stream on integrating with a payment provider. because I think that's a key thing for an online store is the payments, and I'll make sure I take my time with that basically. Yeah, I love Bardcore as well, Alex, don't worry. So the order number, we want to be able to create random order numbers really, don't we? So we're going to have to do that. The total is something that's going to have to be calculated. I'm pretty sure the cart has a total. So what we should be doing, I want to double check this. You're regretting your choice now. I wouldn't, it's awesome. The hips don't lie in Bardcore. What we got? Oh no, that'd be cool. There we go. We'll stick with this. Hey Dan, I'm wearing my jump t-shirt. Don't worry. Work t-shirt. It's really comfy actually. I love this t-shirt. It's the first time I've actually got swag when joining a company, whereas usually I join the company, it's like, come on, you must have swag. You're a tech company. Where's your swag? Your swag game's weak. But no, jump. They're throwing it at me. I can't get enough. I've even got a nice mug for drinking hot drinks that I have filled with millions so I can eat. Unfortunately, we don't quite fit through, but maybe one day. I have to get a file, make it slightly bigger. I can start drinking my millions while in meetings and everyone thinks I'm just having coffee. And I'm just snacking. Hey, thanks for coming. So, back to it. What we need to do is, when we add a product to the cart, cart items create. So we're doing that. That's fine. But what we also want to be doing is, if we look at this cart item, there's one thing that we didn't do. And we did look at there's a quantity. That's purchasable. Yeah, millions are amazing. Best idea my wife's ever had. Because obviously it was her idea, because it's a good one. She comes up with good ideas, I just implement them. It's true developer fashion right there. So what we want to be doing, so I just noticed that we're doing something slightly different. So let's say with our projectors, cart projector on product was added. So we want to find the cart and we want to basically say, create a new item, right? but for one thing we forgot. I'm pretty sure our cart has got a total, and we've completely skipped over that. So what we want to do is purchasable type. We want to get that, and there is the item. So what we need to do, we've created that. So when we go through to a cart item, what we want to do is get the purchasable model and just update the cart. So we want to say cart update. And what we want is the total for the cart. So the projector, that is that's event sourcing basically, and what a projector is from event sourcing, it's projecting the new state into the database. If you've ever used Vuex, it's like a mutation. You're projecting the new state into a storage, or you're mutating the state to a new version because an event has happened. Then you're reacting to that change. You got to project that forward. And that's something that will happen if you keep replaying. It'll keep projecting that state on top of each other until you get the current state. And a reactor is something that only happens once, the first time that is ran, and it's just reacting to that state change, basically. Not a problem. I got asked that not that long ago, so it's kind of still fresh in my mind. So we can say item, that's going to return a model, so then we can say purchasable. We're getting the purchasable, And at the minute that is going to be a variant, and that is going to have a cost. But we want to get the retail. So the retail amount. So I kind of want to find a nice way to test projectors, and I couldn't find a nice way documented on the Sparsy docs. Let me go to my browser window wherever I left him. I've got this. I've actually got the docs open over here because I was looking at something else for using your own event storage repository. I was looking at different ways we can do that, just because I like this sort of thing. So if I look at, you could test aggregates, that's fine. Commands, event queries, partials, your own storage model, your own storage repository. Yeah, how am I going to test these aggregates? These projectors, because the docs are really good on, and even the course was really good on. This is how we test aggregates, but I couldn't find the testing of projectors anywhere. So I might have to kind of bodge it a little bit until I can find a nice way to do it. So what I'm going to do is we're going to start with that. Let's do some testing because we all love testing. I want to make sure that these are working. We haven't written any tests for these parts yet. So we're going to do a feature test, and this is a cart projector test. So we're going to start with this one. Feature. Hey Junior, how are you doing, buddy? You create a new cart projector test. Going to create a new test here. So what we're going to want to do is, let's start this off. We don't want anything open other than these two little things that we care about right now. So first one we can do is product cart was added. So it creates, or it can add a product to the cart. Very similar name to what we've done before, but we're going to be doing this one slightly differently. And I think I'd rather do this and worry about the items right now. Make sure that we're testing projectors, and then get back to the items if we've got time. I want to make sure we focus. And another thing, my daughter did the coolest little bit of art at school today. How cool is that? She came home and just randomly gave it me, looking all guilty. I was like, what's wrong? And she was like, showed me her hands, they were just covered in pink. Exciting stuff for kids. So the first thing we need to do is we need to create a projector. We need to make sure we can create the projector, right? And then what we want to be able to do is say, okay, trigger the method, passing in the built event. This, we can standardize that event, right? We could use a data provider for that nice and easily. So then test the outcome. So I was having this conversation at work the other day about how to approach writing a test, and this is how I do it. So I want to test projectors, this projector in particular, so I need to go through method by method and test. Okay, so what do I want to do? Obviously I need to be able to create the projector. I can do that in a before each. Great. So I can do a before each, like that. And what I want to do is say this projector is a new projector. Simplify that one, and that's it. Right, I don't think it's got anything special. It doesn't. Yeah, it doesn't have anything special in terms of its constructor, so I can just new it up. I don't have to, resolve it from the container, which is nice. So I can just do a nice quick before each and say, right, for each of these tests in here, I'm going to need it. But also, I might have to refactor this in a minute because we're going to want to create some of these events too. But we'll see. We might be able to push those through from the data provider. So, first thing I want to do, this is going to be really obvious. I want to make sure that this is an instance of the cart projector Make sure that I've not messed anything up, basically. No. Yeah, good. We're good to go. So, that's nice and easy. So next we want to say, okay, let's build the event. So the way that we're going to want to do this is we're going to want a data set, and we are going to want a product was added to cart. So data provider, what we're going to want to do, added to cart. If we look at the other ones, we can say dataset added to cart. And then what these can do, these can return an array of functions or closures. Purchase, oh, where's that? I've probably got typos everywhere. Right, drop a PR. It's Hacktoberfest. You know, if you're spotting these things, github.com. Not my .files because they're my old Linux ones. Shop. Drop a PR. I have added the Hacktoberfest label, so get your free t-shirt. Jump in it. Typos, I'm going to make them. I can guarantee that one. May as well get a t-shirt out of my typos, right? So, add it to cart. And what we want to do is we want a function, a function. We're not writing math. And what we want this to do is we want to return a new product was added to cart. And that's going to take some arguments. Here we go. So that is going to take the arguments of the purchasable ID. So what we're going to want to do is variant factory create cart ID cart factory create, and the types at the minute the type's static. We are just doing a variant. So let's just make sure we've simplified these here so they're nicer to look at, because there's nothing worse than looking at code that isn't nice, right? So that's what we want to do. So we want that data set to come into the here, and we can just say with added to cart. So now run it, we fail. So purchasable ID must have typed int variant. Oh, okay, my bad. Create, get the ID. So let's run that again. There we go. We're able to pass that in. So in the argument up here, we can say what we are hoping to pass in is product was added to cart, which is an event. Let's make sure that's still passing. It's not going to fail on anything. Nothing's complaining. Good. So what we're going to quickly do, we're just going to quickly do a die and dump on the event. And let's see what happens. So we get the event passed through nicely. That's really helpful, you know, because now we can just change that depending on what we're testing on the projector itself. You know, we can just swap that through. We don't have to worry about extending this before each. We have to build up things we're not using. We just pull it through as a data provider, and it is great. So we've got the event. So now what we expect is, currently what we are going to expect is that what's happening here, finding that, and then okay, so expect cart query. Let's simplify that. We want the cart query, and we want to find where the event cart ID. So we want the cart. We're gonna add a with items so we can shorten this part down nicely. So expect the cart items count to equal 0. At this point we shouldn't have any items, right? Yeah, there we go. So we haven't added anything to our cart at this point because we haven't triggered that projector. So now when we this projector on product was added to cart and the event is the event, we run that. That shouldn't return anything, that's good. So now what we can do, in theory, this should now be 1. Because we should have added something to our cart and we should now have a new item. So let's test it. And it fails. So product ID failed. It's failing on product ID. Purchasable ID. That'll be why. Good job we're testing it. And that again. Retail on null. Okay, so let's just ignore that for now. And what we'll do is we're going to die and dump on item there. So we've got an item, we've got a cart item. Got a purchasable type. So we should have something that's purchasable, right? Or have I done something slightly wrong? No. So something's gone slightly wrong there. Yeah, it is the Fugees we are listening to, Killing Me Softly. Bardcore is amazing. Absolutely amazing. I'm probably going to get more flags on copyright stuff on YouTube, but yeah, if I was going to do this for the money, I'd probably plan it instead of trying to make it enjoyable. So we're trying to create a new item. Is it maybe this part? Do we need to do something like item equals cart items? This is why I don't like polymorphic relationships, really. It's a typo. Wait, which typo? Which typo? The event purchasable ID cannot be null, it must be an ID. It's being passed through from the event. Which typo? That one. That one. I'll tell you what, I'm just going to replace that with that. And that. With that. Let's run it. Hey, we got a variant. Hey, we're getting there. We got there. Urgh. Good spot, that person. Good spot. You could have got yourself, Hacktoberfest token. Right, okay, so there's that. So what we also want to do is, let's refactor this out. So we want to get this, and let's just say that cart equals that. So then we can get this, and we can say here. So we're not doing too many queries. Why am I doing item? What am I thinking? Cart items count. But also, what we're also wanting to do is we want to expect that the cart total to be equal to equal 0. So we shouldn't have any value in the cart currently. Okay, so that is part of this here, cart create, and we want the total to be 0, perhaps. There we go, we got that. So that is our total. So when we add it, we've now ran that. That's the bit we're testing, really, that. And we want to replace all of this is cart refresh items count. Yep, still looking good, still passing. So what we can also do is expect, actually, if I just cart refresh outside, I don't have to keep doing it. So then we can say, okay, now we want the cart total to equal, and what we add in. Basically, we kind of need to do item purchasable retail, right? Where's the item event? Okay, so currently, how can we do this? Cart items first purchasable retail. Let's give that a go. I mean, we can fine-tune it in a little bit. There we go. It's passed. Yeah, it's doing a couple of queries. I'd like to look at how we can maybe clean that up. So if we quickly have a look at cart item, what we could probably do is that should help. Not that we're going to notice much difference, to be honest. But there we go. We're now testing projectors, and I'm not sure if there's a better way to do testing on projectors, but this way it makes sense, right? Yeah, I'm kind of unit testing it, kind of feature testing it. You know, what is the correct way? You know, if anybody knows the best way to test projectors on this package, let me know. Otherwise, I'll just kind of ping Frake on, actually, Twitter. We'll go on Twitter quickly. I'm just going to quickly tweet them. Right, so, hey Freak and Brent, what is the best way to test projectors in your Laravel package? Let's see if they reply. If they reply within the stream, we might even be refactoring. Otherwise, we'll see. Tweeted. Let's see if they get back to us. And in the meantime, we'll just carry on, because this is working, right? This works. The only thing it might not be is the way they expected it to be done. You know, at this point, I'm testing every action going on. I'm just building it up differently. So we'll carry on. So next, we want to test the product was removed from cart. Share my playlist. Can I share this easily? How can I share this? Copy link to playlist. I can drop it in the chat, and I hope it's clickable. Here you go. And so what we also want to do is we can add a product to the cart. Yep, that's cool. So we also want to say it can remove a product from the cart, and we'll just check in a quick closure there, and what that's going to be is the product was removed from cart event. Yeah, this way of testing it's not bad. I do kind of like it. I'm not going to say it's perfect, because I don't think this is the perfect way to do it, but it works. So let's go back to our data sets. Added to cart. Yeah, let's keep it like that. And let's go data set. I'm going to create another one where the name is removed from cart. We can listen. I listen to this sort of stuff while I work. It's sometimes it's nice to listen to something a bit more upbeat, something with a bit of tempo. But sometimes when you're just having that background music, it's just nice, something different. So product was removed from the cart. So I'm assuming I need a cart ID. So we can do a cart factory create ID. The type, we're going to say variant. The purchasable ID is going to be pretty much kind of like this. It's the same thing, just different order, right? That's it. Just need to sort the arguments so I can get that removed from cart. And what I'm going to do, I'm just going to refactor this, and we're going to rename this to cart projector. And what I'm going to do is just going to run that one. Dataset with a name, but that doesn't exist. Cool. That one works. Good. So removed from cart, got the event. Now we're good to go. So again, like we did up here, we probably don't need to test this, but it's a new test. Let's make sure it's running. Let's make sure we're getting the projector in the way we're expecting. Again, we can create a cart like this. That works. Exactly the same. There's our cart. And the next step is we expect the cart to have an item. At this point, well, at least one item. Right. Okay, so that's 0. So okay, so I could do a cart item factory, create, and then return the cart ID. That would kind of do the same thing. Yeah, now we're good. Just tuning our data set into what we actually need it to be. There's no point juggling stuff, right? So the next thing we test is the projector, or the total. So we kind of want to do that now, really, don't we? We're kind of doing this backwards. We want to make sure it reverts. Ooh. Okay, so items count expected. Oh, I know why that's not working. It's because we aren't updating anything on this. So what we want to do is when we're removing it, we want to update it, and we want to say that this is now going to be I'm just going to get that, or get the first one. So now we got one. This in theory should now this will give me an item. So now I can jump in and do item. So what I'll do quickly here is, before I do this, I'm just going to make sure that I am getting what I need. So I can say this projector on product was removed from cart, and the event is this one. So let's just run that. So we are getting null. do a quick die dump on cart. What's going on? Got a cart. Nullable. That's fine. It's an abandoned cart apparently. Let's see how many items we got. An array of 1. That is fine. As expected. So, why is this coming back as null? So, cart item, where the cart ID is that, and where the ID is cart item ID. Okay. Shouldn't really need to do both of those, because that's specific enough. What we're going to do is, instead, let's just drop that, and let's run that. So, apparently it's null. Just null. Here we go. Let's get Ray open because Ray's a little bit nicer for some of this sort of thing sometimes. Let's move Peach Storm over to here. And let's put this here, and we are going to use rectangle to put it on the left half. So, instead of dying and dumping, we are just going to say, hey, have I got that installed? I haven't got it installed yet. Let's quickly install it. Sparsely Ray Laravel. Ooh. Restart that. And that's back. So all I need to do to install it is go to the install instructions, introduction, using it with Laravel, and this is all I need to do. Right, so I'm in the right directory. No. Code, sites, shop. Just quickly install that. And just redump the autoloader. And what we'll do is this should now be in there. So let's run it. Oh, well, that's going to fail. Don't know if it's because of that. Oh, is it because we're triggering the wrong one? Let's run that. Here we go. So we're getting null. We're only getting something once. Let's dump out that event. Null card projector line 49. Okay, so it's dying early. Oh, I put it in the wrong bloody place, that's why. I'm trying to do in the... Why didn't anybody tell me? So I'm going to have to... Let's just undo all of that. What have I been doing? So... Now we can run our test again. Null. Null is coming through. So run it again. So we got a cart. Ooh, that's that one. That playlist was, I believe, I listened to Punk Rock Factory last time, didn't I? That'll be this one, buddy. Here you go. That is my current rotation of tunes. So we got a cart. item. What happens if I do that? Oh, we've got some failure. Belongs to many, but okay. That again. Collection does not exist. Okay. How could we get this relationship nicely? So what we're trying to do is we're trying to get the product, the actual product itself. So in this event, all we're getting is the purchasable ID and the type. So we need to do a let's lay out the query quickly. So we want the cart item, we want the query, where has let's just run that again. Let's see what we're getting. We got one cart item. Let's run it. So here we go. We're getting that. We're getting the one. Here's our relation purchasable, which is currently a variant. So what we want to do, where has that? I'm pretty sure where has can take extra argument as well. Yeah, it can have a callback. So what we want to do is eloquent builder. What we want to do is we want to say builder where ID. Let's chuck in our use on the event. We don't need to return anything because we're doing void returns. So where the ID is the event purchasable ID. Ah, now we're getting empty. Damn you. So where has a builder, where has purchasable, with purchasable, or do we want to, yeah, this is starting to get a bit juggly, isn't it? So if we just get all of them, we know we can get one. So let's just clear that. We've got one. So if we can get one, that means maybe we just need to do things slightly differently. So what we could do is say items is that, and then let's just ray out items filter. This is going to be an eloquent model. Hey Chris, how you doing, buddy? Can you use the where? Ooh, I haven't actually used the where relation model. Let's go to the Laravel docs. where relation comments. Oh, where morph relation. Oh, that is a new one. That is a good shout. Thanks, Quentin. So, where morph relation, that expects the relation, the types, and the column. So the relation is purchasable. So the types. Let's see what the difference is. So the where relation takes morph relation. Types needs to be a string or an array, so that needs to be, what types could it be? That's like the event type. It also needs to take in the column, which for us is ID. Then it's going to take in operator and value, and we want the, I suppose the operator needs to be equals, and then the value needs to be event purchasable ID get. That seems a long ass query. We're getting nothing. Okay, so what's going wrong? What is going wrong? So let's just comment that out. Get the items. So the ID there. We're going to array out the items, but we're also going to array out the event too. So let's just, then we can do a quick comparison. So purchasable ID is 1. Is 1. Okay, so it's been cast to a string. Perhaps if we int it there. Run it again. Still nothing. Oh, the frustration is real. So maybe I'll drop the where that for now. Let's run this. That gives us 1. Clear that, so we got a clear view. And what we're going to do is on product was removed from cart. So what we want to do is we want to filter. This is going to be a model for an item. We want the item ID to equal event purchasable ID. And we got one. And then we can say first. Seems like a kind of the long way round to get it. But we got it. So we've got a cart item now, which is a variant. The relations is there. That's a cart item. Purchasable ID, we've got that. So what we can do is just tag this on, call that an item. Hey Chris, thanks for joining. Yeah, that looks, kind of looks like it's gonna work, right? So unfortunately the where relation just wasn't working. So we'll have a look at that a little bit later. Maybe we could potentially refactor that, or if you've got an idea, it's Hacktoberfest, people. Get Hacktobering. So we can get that first one. And what we want to do is cart items. Where the purchasable ID is item the purchasable ID is that. Also we want to do where the purchasable type is. We need to get like the morphable class name, don't we? So I don't know if there's a helper for that. So what I'm going to do here quickly, I'm just going to do dine dump on item purchasable quickly. I think this might be an array, so it might fail. Let's clear that. It's going to fail because unexpected token, line 59. Okay, let's do one. Run it again. Okay, so we got something. So we do the quick dine dump. That also comes through to here. It is a variant. So now what we want to do quickly is item purchasable. Get the class. Class base name, perhaps. Variant, so we've got that, and where the purchasable type is string to lower, class base name, item purchasable. There might be a nicer way to do that. There might be a string helper already, but we should then get the first one. I like DD on that. Let's see what we're doing. So it's all from cart items, blah 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 blah. Cool, so we're getting somewhere. So what we want to do is we want to delete it, right? We want to delete the cart item basically. That will delete the cart item. And then what we also need to do is we want to say cart update. And what we want to update is the total. So the total is going to be updated to whatever the cart total currently is, minus the item total. I'm pretty sure the cart item has a total. Nope. Might need to do this first before we delete the stuff. Item purchasable retail. That might be the right way to do it. Run it again. Passing. Let's clear that, run it one more time. Nothing's being logged now, so we're back to the non-logging, which is good. So what we can do is will this test now pass, or do I need to change some stuff? Yeah, something's different here. So we're updating the cart total, so the cart total should be different. So we need to check what the cart total is up here first. So we want to expect the cart total to equal let's do a function here, and we want to pass in the cart, and we want to return cart items. Is there like a collection method that I can use perhaps here? Collections. So collection helpers. Is there like a sum that we can do? Sum. So there is. So cart items. We want to pluck out the it's on the variant, isn't it? So okay, so cart items for each one. Now this is starting to get messy, isn't it? How can we do this? There's going to be a nice way to do this. Let's do a quick time dump on the cart total up here. So it's currently that. There's the current total. Product was removed from cart, so we're going to update it to remove the one going through there. So update. That's all correct. So we know we can test that it works, right? We can say after we've done the action, we know that that should now be 0 in theory, and we'll ignore this test for now. We'll come circle around on that one quickly. So that, ooh, okay. It should have been removed. Why haven't you been removed? Items where item is that, and let's just quickly die and dump on that item. That could be the issue. We're not actually removing it. So that's a cart item. Purchasable ID. It's got everything that we're expecting. So that item should be deleted. And we're not expecting to return anything, so that's fine. It could just be something really silly. Expect 1. Expect 0. Oh wait, cart. Refresh. Items count. And now if I just undo those changes, I should just be able to delete straight away. There we go. So what we should also, let's see if this is actually going to work as well. So let's quickly cart refresh up here, then we can jump back into cart. So attempt to read property purchasable on null, cart projector test line 60. Ooh, getting the first. null. So let's do a quick test on this. How can I access this? So I want the cart, items first. Yeah, sneaky live stream dropping. Hey Craig, how you doing, buddy? Hope you're doing okay, my friend. Oh wait, no, it's been removed. Ah, so we're not going to be able to access it because it's been removed. So the total should now actually be 0 because we've removed the only item. Obviously. What was I thinking? What was I thinking? Trying to get the amount. Right. Minus that, okay. Ooh, so, okay, so get the first one. So it looks like we might have to just juggle a few things. Items is that, and then item is items filter. Temporary variables are going to be a friend for this one. And if that's a collection, that's fine. Items count is, let's do a quick time dump and just say bye bye. So we've got 1. Let's make sure. Cool. So we've got 1. We want it to be definitely equal 1 actually, because greater than doesn't matter. Cool. So if we've got 1, then what we want to do is cart update total to be 0. We'll probably refactor this, and then we'll just quick wrap that in an else. There we go. That's now working. That bit is fine. I've got about 10 minutes left until hopefully my dinner should arrive. Ooh. The wife messaged. Is food here? Interesting if it is. So that's how we're testing that part, and then obviously on increased quantity, decreased quantity, that's actually being tested. Nice. I think we're not actually testing that yet, are we? Okay. Well, that's working. So cart projectors. The next one is going to be on increased quantity. So we can do like a new data set for increase cart quantity, which is going to be an array, and we're going to have a function which is going to return that. A new one. So what does that take as an argument? It takes the quantity event, cart ID, cart item ID, and quantity. So the cart ID is going to be the cart model factory create ID, and cart item ID. We can do like a cart item factory, and we can do like a create, and we're going to pass the cart ID in as that. That ain't gonna work, is it? So we get that, assign it, and then do that, and that should hopefully do that, which will allow me to do that. And then the quantity, let's just say we have got one item in there. Let's see how it actually works, because I'm not sure if it will right now. Card projector test. Let's just... it can increase the quantity of an item in the cart. Just drop that event in there. With increased cart quantity. Let's run it. Let's see if it's giving us what we expect. Oh, it's giving us stuff. That's so cool. That worked. Kind of didn't expect it to. So let's just make sure we're getting the projector as we expect it. And what we want to do at this point, we're going to update the quantity. Oh, okay, so a lot of the time we're going to have to change the total. It needs to be a bit more reactive, doesn't it? So the food's not quite here, it's almost here. And she said if it was here, she would have gotten a fork for herself and let me starve. Loving wife. I'm obviously keeping her from a nice Italian takeaway. I'm just going to quickly write something for this one. So increase cart quantity. So what we want to do here is we want to, let's get the cart quickly. So the cart, let's query. And we're just going to quickly find where the event cart ID. We got the cart. So now we can say we expect the cart items count. Oh, no, not items. Let's get the first one. So we expect the quantity to equal 1. That's kind of what we're expecting based on what we know. It's failing. It's 12. Okay. Not bad. Data set. Cart item. Cart ID is that. And we'd say select quantity is 1. There you go. So we got 1. We want to start with defaults. So then we can say this projector on increased cart quantity, where the event is the event. Now we expect this to be 2. Update. I just heard my door go. Food is here. Oh my god, it's exciting. Okay. What's going on? What's on increased cart quantity? Yep, time. Right. Okay, I am going to have to shoot. I'm going to do a short one today, so we're going to spend some time with the wife. I've been abandoning her a little bit. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to commit this. And we're just going to do a quick commit into the feature cart branch. working on testing our projectors. We didn't get a reply from Freagle Brent, unfortunately. They seem to be probably busy, to be fair, but I will drop them a message or something later on. Git push, that is now going up. And I suppose thanks for coming, as usual. Like, comment. How do you feel about these shorter ones? Are they easier to take in? Discord link in the description below. Like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you like. On Monday we aren't going to be carrying on with this. We're going to be doing a short break as Nuxt 3 is being launched. If you didn't know that, then go check out the Nuxt 3. It's coming out in 4 days. We are going to be live streaming rebuilding my personal website, which is built with Jigsaw, in Nuxt 3 because I love Nuxt, and I'm going to see if I can get my head around TypeScript at the same time to rebuild this, because Jigsaw's great, but I want to see if I can do more kind of Jamstack style API integrations. So thanks everyone. Can't wait to catch you next time. Have a great weekend if I don't see you. Good night.